Welcome to All Horse Racing All the Time. I'm Alan, your host, bringing you horse racing today. And today we'll be talking about the joys of handicapping the races early and some news and notes. We'll get to that, but first, coffee. Not bad. Folgers Original Blend Instant. Hey, for an instant coffee, I recommend it. It's probably one of the closest, or maybe even the closest coffee, instant coffee, that resembles in taste the more expensive regular coffee that's actually blended. So you can't go wrong there. All right. Some news and notes. It's been an early start to the year, as always, in January in horse racing, the big events. But things are going to be starting to heat up. We didn't have any Derby prep races this weekend. But next weekend, it heats up a little bit. We have the LeCompte Stakes over at Fairgrounds Racetrack, and it is always a big day. It's a G3. It's a prep race. It's the first Derby prep race of the year that brings 20 points to qualifying points to the winner and 10 to second place and on downward. So that's an important race. You win that race, there's a very good chance you're going to qualify for the Kentucky Derby in these standings. So be on the lookout for that. And the joys of early handicapping the races in advance. That's what I've been doing this morning, getting started for my selection live streams, where I put them out there every day for a number of tracks. So I've been at it early, now giving you this video here. And just a heads up, I did start a new channel. It is called The X Factor. I bring you some horse racing stuff there as well. But I also bring you other topics, other subjects, bring a unique take on a variety of things, and some horse racing too. So you want to check that out. I'm going to have selections out there for at least one of the tracks today, because I don't want to do an overfill over here on All Horse Racing All the Time, tie up the computer with a bunch of streams, send some out on my laptop. So check out the X Factor so you don't want to miss any of those horse racing shows or the other shows. A lot of people enjoy the other shows, the ones that aren't into horse racing, on a variety of topics and takes. The X Factor. Subscribe to that. Bring you that unique, that X factor over there. And as far as racing today, yeah, I'm going to be putting some tracks out there. The joys of handicapping the races early. Some people might take a step back and like, oh God, they see handicapping as work. They starting early, let alone handicapping at all. Well, let me talk about some of the joys of handicapping early as well. Yeah, it can be a joyful experience as well as beneficial, not just all fun and games. For starters, you handicap the races early. When I mean early, I mean getting the handicapping done, if you can, before the scratches and changes, to get a leg up on it. Get familiar with the card. That preps you. Preps you for playing the races. Okay, it may not be as much of a joy, right? Maybe you're one of those people who likes to go to the track and you just get started there. But you handicap those races early, you'll be familiar with all of the races. You'll be able to pick your spots better. You'll know the horses in advance. You're not going to be doing a mad scramble, a mad dash once the races start. And bringing on stress. You're seeing things for the first time. And we all know that there's a lot involved with handicapping the races. And to look for, can you really do that to the best of your ability if you haven't even looked at the card? We'll get to the good stuff in just a little bit. But this is something, eliminate some stress by doing it earlier. And besides that, you'll win more money that way. You'll know the races. Another joy is when you're actually watching the races. When you're watching the races, now you're sitting down to play, right? You want to win some money on these races. You'll be You'll have intimate knowledge of all the contenders, all the horses you like. You'll be able to spot them. Brings a joy to the game, a real joy to the game. Watch how much more fun you have when you're playing these races and you know what's happening, who's going to be in those races in advance. I akin this to a lottery scratch-off player. Have you ever been to the store, one of these convenience store, and you see somebody standing there scratching off just the code of the lottery ticket to see if they won instantly, and then throwing them all away all in a matter of minutes? And this might be somebody that spent 20, 10, 5, or 30 or more dollars on scratch-offs, and then just sitting there scratching it off one by one, and it's all over. Handicap the races in advance. Now it's like more akin to watching a prize fight, a sporting event where you're going to see the horses. Now it's race time. Now it's 20 minutes to post, right? You've looked at it. You're familiar with the race. Now you're familiar with the contenders, and you've looked over the races. So you're like, now rubber meets the road. Is my contender, are my top picks or picks? Maybe you're playing exotics. Rolling exotics, that's my game. That's where I do my heavy duty damage. If you saw by Delta Downs picks yesterday, I had the rolling exotic hits, 4 flat out winners on top, but every single rolling exotic on the card. We had the winner mentioned there in every single race, and we had some exactas in there too. So you do that, but you get the idea. Look them over in advance, and it'll be like a sporting event when the race time. Now you can get your blood flow, the juices flowing for, when the race comes up. You know who's in there. Are you as good? Is this horse as good as I figured it to be? It's a contender. And not only that, you get to spend more time looking at other things. You could look at the body language of the horse. You can see if you missed something when you're looking at your data again. You could check the board. You could follow the board and see what's happening. Am I getting fair value on my pick? Maybe I see another horse that I think has about the same shot to win, but this one's 4-1, and my other shot is 7-5. What do I want to do? Do I want to use them both, or just do I want to single the one with the value? And there's better races down the card. So you have that factor. You have more time, less stress. Maybe it gives you some time. Maybe you want to walk away to get a cup of coffee as the clock is counting down, and come back to it because you have plenty of extra time because you looked over the races in advance. And what about when the races go off? You'll enjoy it much more because you're familiar with everybody, right? When you watch a pay-per-view event on TV or a sporting event, do you order that sporting event without knowing who's even going to be in it? No. So the same thing goes for horse racing. You'll enjoy it more if you're pumped up. I mean, newspapers, they cover this stuff in advance for sometimes weeks. Well, horse racing, one day is enough, sometimes 2 days. Next week's a couple of weeks, we have the Pegasus World Cup over in Gulfstream. They're already talking about it. So horse racing is the same thing. You're going to enjoy it much, much more. And one of the maybe the most enjoyable factor of handicapping earlier is in advance. You will win more. You'll win more. You've done the work. You've put in the work. You've spotted things you haven't spotted before that most of the public hasn't spotted. Some people don't even use the racing form. So you'll have a leg up going in. You'll win more money. You'll have less stress. So many factors, so many positives to handicapping in advance. And so keep that in mind when you're playing the races. Might seem like drudgery to do it. Oh, I'll do it later. I'll make that phone call tomorrow. Well, horse racing, same thing. Do it early. You'll be rewarded for it across the board. If you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in an upcoming video or a live show, send them to liveracingshow@gmail.com, live racing show, all one word. And we'll get back to you on that. So this way, and also if you have any comments about this, leave it in the comments area below. So let's get back at it. I'm going to be handicapping the races. Remember the X Factor. Check that out. I'm going to have some tracks out there today as well that aren't here, and other videos on other topics. Trust me on this. You'll enjoy it. You won't be sorry. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching. Finish your coffee. Enjoy. And remember, may the horse always be with you.